and do a quick little calculation. If we invest into this particular trade $7.78, and then we make back 44 cents, let's do a little return on investment calculation. 44 cents profit divided by $7.78 for the stock, and you're going to make approximately 5.6% for one transaction. Let's do this research a little bit further. Now, of course, you can go down this list, and we just got into the A's. Don't forget, there's optionable stocks that go all the way to the letter Z. So you can find these different categories, and once you find one that looks possible, you're going to go ahead and test it, do your due diligence. So we found AMR here, $7.78. We can make back 44 cents on the $8 call. Let's go ahead and do some due diligence. Here's another hot tip. By the way, we want to go ahead and make this as easy as possible and also make it so that we use as free tools as possible. So far we said we could get the IBD at the library. That could be free. The other thing we want to do is use a website that's free for doing our due diligence. How about going to finance.yahoo.com? Finance.yahoo.com. Let me pull up a web browser. This is a free website, and it does all the testing that you need to do. Finance.yahoo.com on these particular picks to get where you want to go. So let's go ahead and type in the ticker here. Where it says get quote, we're going to go ahead and type in the ticker. The ticker for this one is AMR. And you can see here that the different stocks, you can go ahead and type in the name of the stock and you'll get the ticker. We knew that this one was AMR just because it said AMR. So we'll type in that particular one, click on get quote, and look at that. There we are with the AMR quote. And I want to guide your attention to where it says interactive charts. Now, just as we have friends that we become very, very close to, and we're able to know when these friends, by basically like looking at their face or looking at their body language, we know they have tells that tell us when they're about to get upset or when they're going to be happy or when they're going to burst out in laughter. By looking at a stock's chart, we can get the same type of personality out of a stock that we get out of a people. In fact, many times I find my friends are stocks more than they are people. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at this, because by looking at this chart, one of the key things that's going to be important for you to get better and better at is being able to read these particular charts, just like you would read your friends and how they're about to react to different stimuli. If they hear a bad joke or a good joke, are they going to laugh or are they going to cry? We can tell by looking at a stock chart whether it's going to laugh or cry. So let's take a look at AMR here. Now, let me tell you a little personality here. For this particular strategy to work, we really want the stock to just be going sideways. We don't really want it to be going up or down. It could be doing a little bit of notch like this, but we want it to be, for the most part, going sideways. So let's go ahead and take a look at a 1 month chart. In fact, you could look at the 1 month chart and it may or may not be as much data as you want to see. Some people like to look at the 3 month chart. It just puts more data feeds. See how you can see whether this thing has been around $9 or $7. What we can see here is that this particular stock, AMR, has dropped recently. We were talking about how we see it go sideways, and we like this right here. And then it dropped, and we can see, are there lines, are there some sort of like psychological lines that we call support and resistance where it won't go below or go above? And you can just look back in history. Maybe you look even back 6 months. All right, so we see $7 seems to be a level that this stock AMR hasn't gone below. $9 doesn't seem to be the level it's gone above. Now, this tool is so fantastic. It's a free tool. You see where it says events? Click on that link right there. We can find out about different events that are coming and have come, like splits, dividends, insider trading. That's where some sort of bigwig at the company starts trading a lot of stocks. Now they say that you're not allowed to trade stocks if you're in the company, but we know that when bigwigs know a little bit about insider trading, about decisions of the company, they might do some trading. The cool thing is the SEC makes them report that, and it becomes public information, so we can find out when the insiders have been doing some trading. And finally, you can click on Analyst Opinion Changes, and you can basically get a good idea of how this particular stock responds to key developments that have been happening in the market and happening to this particular stock. And again, we want to see that it's even-keeled. We don't want to see that, hey, this is a pharmaceutical stock that's got a drug being released in the not-too-distant future that could send it flying. And, again, this particular strategy works when the stock is moving horizontally. So as you can see here, this stock is, we're pulling in more data here, but this stock has kind of been moving horizontal. And we see that even with all the different data feeds coming in, that key developments don't seem to send this flying one way or the other. So why don't we do another key piece of information and just look at headlines. You might say, what is headlines all about? Well, headlines is going to allow us to see if there's anything pending. Again, we want to look for technology companies that have new technology coming. That might make it so that it doesn't go horizontal. We might see that drug companies have a new drug being tested. That might not make it go horizontal. Or maybe there's some sort of big court date having to go with the company. That might not make it go horizontal. Anything that might not make it go horizontal excludes this stock, and we go back and look for another one. Now this particular stock, AMR, it's got some information about United Airlines and U.S. Airways. It's definitely related to the airlines, which is a kind of a tumultuous sector to begin with. But you basically want to prove to yourself, and the only time it has to move horizontal is until that third Friday of the month when that option expires. Because once that option expires, you're out of the trade anyway. So all we're looking for is that this particular stock goes horizontal until that third Friday. So look for anything that may be pending that's going to be after or before that time, and make your decision on whether or not this pick is worth the while. Because so long as it moves horizontal, you're going to make that 5.6%. If it moves up, you're going to make the 5.6% as well. If it moves down, we run into problems. So you want to keep your eye out for anything that's going to get this stock to move down. So long as it moves horizontal or even up, we're good as gold. So you've proven to yourself, you've used our interactive charts, you've used our headlines, you've proved to yourself that this is a good stock and option combination. So during tomorrow's trading session, it's as easy buying that stock in increments of 100 shares and going ahead and selling back the option in the same number of contracts, and you basically bought that stock at a discount. You wait until the last Friday, the third Friday of the month, and you're either going to get called out of that option and be brought back to all cash, or you're going to go ahead and buy back that option and sell the stock and be in all cash anyway. Hey, this is a process that we use at least every month, if not more than once a month. And this is a type of strategy, again, takes you maybe one weekend afternoon a month to research these picks, find the ones that you're interested in, do the trading on the next open trading day, usually a Monday or a Tuesday, and it makes us returns of 3, 5, 10, 15%. Now, what I'd like to point out is, of course, this is a very manual process, but if you go ahead and follow on to the next page, we've got definitely some tools that'll be able to help you find out these picks quicker and do your due diligence for you to make this a much easier process. Now, this is the process from A to Z, but boy, wouldn't it be nice to have a nice tool that will speed this up. Hey, that's all I've got for you. Don't forget to click on that next button and check out how we can make this an easier process.